let's set up our tools now. I pasted in an image from some of my preferred drawing tools, the fineliners, and you see all these numbers relate actually to millimeters. So a 1.0 means the line is 1 millimeter wide. And if you're very used to this, it's actually very easy to set up now the tools in concepts exactly the same way. Probably the same might also be for the imperial system. I'm actually, I have to admit, I'm not familiar with, because all the tools even you buy here in the US, like with the fineliners, they all come with the millimeters. And it's actually a very easy unit system to work with. So let's do that. Okay, so this image I will select, and this was just only for a reference to explain what we are going to do now. So we have here a fineliner, and before we continue, we have to set up our unit system now to be in millimeters. Okay. And I can set this to 1:1 for the moment, so it's all a little bit easier, because now we just simply do drawings, but we know the images we brought in, they are at a 1:7 scale in inches. So instantly you see up here now, this is actually, it has a different readout. So we can go from very small to actually pretty big. So we want to have like thicker lines and thinner lines. This maybe we will set to 0.1 and then see, before we actually really sketch everything out, how this line, so 0.1 millimeter, will look on our drawing. Also to the scale. Now we have to keep this in mind. And whoa, that is thick. Okay, that's not very good. So let's go item picker, select this line, and we can now adjust the size. So what does actually look really good? Maybe the 0.3. The 0.2 actually looks good. When this is actually 0.2, let's turn our first tool here also to kind of like this, 0.2 by default. We can with our finger again press and hold onto the number and then type in the value clean. There. Oh, I just drew a line there by accident. Delete. When this is the outline line, so for the next tool, so to the right, here, maybe then instead of 0.2, I would like to have a 0.1. So it's thinner. Yeah. So this is set to also 90, kind of like 93, smoothing, 93. Why do I go 93, not 100? I can make a nice straight line, but if I draw a little bit slower, I can very gentle arc actually these lines, making these lines look a little bit more natural. That's the cool thing about concepts. It allows you, while everything is vector-based, to still create lines that look a little bit more hand-drawn. So when I say I go down to here, so 93 maybe is a tick too clean. What about 85? Yeah, you see, so 85 is already too much. I can really wobble. let's go to 90. And now on purpose, I go left and right. Yeah, this is better. Okay, so let's set those to 90% smoothing. Good. Then here, what do I have there? This is actually a brown color, this tone. And it's also a very thin line, so it's 0.098. And we will keep this actually really low. Very good. And then here, the next tool. This is a marker. And the next one here, we want to set this to be a fill color. Okay. The marker and the fill color, both here we can set to the same color. If you don't see this with the finger, we can spin that wheel. Very good. Okay. Now we've created all these crazy lines there. Let's quickly select them and delete them. So with the pencil, I tap on the name pen for this layer. Tap then the arrow icon, that's the select. That select everything. Press delete. There. Good. Now we're ready to start drawing. So instead of always having to adjust my lines, I simply, as you can see, created myself some preset lines to work with. So how do we sketch this out? First, maybe let's make this even more transparent. There. Let's go back to pen. Very good. And the way how we want to draw this stuff, it should look natural. It shouldn't look Illustrator clean. It doesn't have to be perfect. A little bit of inaccuracy and a little bit of wiggle here and missed stuff there makes drawings look simply interesting, less artificial. So you see how I'm very quickly tracing everything here. Go to there, a quick line there, quick line there. Oops, two fingers undo, and then from there to here, I have grid and snap, everything is turned off. Measurement we can also turn off so it doesn't distract us. So let's go to here. This is an interesting area. There. I just draw these edges. And now in this case here, so I go back to maybe 4% and then zip, by hand draw these arcs. Sometimes zooming in helps a little bit. And how do I draw these arcs? I don't necessarily draw only this part. I draw a little bit over, then I arc, and then I continue drawing linear. This way you can make transitions look simply better. It's about your hand motion. Yeah. Now you can see they're not perfect, but again, this is good. We keep it this way. Then let's go to here. We set this back to 90%. Okay. And zip. Look over. Here we have a line. Then we go down. So here we have two lines on top. This basically indicates edges on the surface where the edge rounding is. And we can keep it this way. Then there. So it was a very easy, quick switch for the tools. Now on the right side, I'm not going to just draw this all by hand again. This is crazy. So we go to select lasso and check out where I start drawing. You see where my tool is. I go this way, draw around this way, and make a selection like this. So I do not select this horizontal line. Then we will do a group. And a copy. Oh, something is locked. Oh, interesting. Include locked. You see this is turned on. This means I selected the image that's below. I don't want that. So ignore. Yeah, okay, good. That's also why the icon was up there. This icon should be more there. And then make a group, copy, mirror it. So I clicked on that mirror icon, and then all this we just bring over. Okay, since this was a little bit choppy, let's do this one more time. So ink locked we ignore. We only want also to select active, so everything on this layer we drew. And then I start with the selection tool, lasso, draw this way, group, copy, and mirror. And then bring this one over, there, very nice. Now, so the icons on this toolbar left is copy to clipboard lock. Then the plus is make a copy, trash can obviously delete, the chain is group or ungroup, and then the next two is mirror, horizontal, vertical. Okay, very nice. You see there we have a nice overlap of these two lines. Beautiful, we keep it. Here, this is all good. The matchup, there we have a gap. Again, this is good. We keep it this way. This makes these drawings simply look more natural. Let's continue. We're gonna clock. There, actually, because this was a really nice long line, I created that drawing a little bit less clean here too, and I will keep it this way. Here we do exactly the same thing again. Switch the tool, chung, chung, there, there we are, copy, lock, mirror this over. Why did I lock this? Good question. It simply makes now selecting the whole thing easier. Here I didn't, I think, did I lock it? No, I did not. So they are all still individual. It's a matter of work preference. Okay. Now, let's take a look at this. There are some interesting shortcuts we can take. So I draw this line here one time. Very good. And then I select it, make a copy, and just move it down to here. Select it, make a copy, move it down to there. Oh, and this is a little bit too far off. Select it, copy, zip. Come on, move down. There we are. Okay, let's go to here. So I rotated that image a little bit, and this is too crazy. There, there. Maybe one over to there. This line was quite good, so I will select this one, make a copy, two fingers pinch, because I can adjust the scale without the rotation. But what's class talking about? We don't see these tools. You see what the lasso is? There's an icon, a triangle pointing to the left. Tap on it, and there's now rotate, stretch, and scale. You remember scale means we scale really also the stroke, two fingers undo. So we only want stretch and rotate. Well, yeah, no? Rotate. Very good. So we can draw actually this line a little bit, or we try to just draw it one time and then move and scale it with two fingers pinching and panning. For those who think this is too complicated, not a big deal, just draw it by hand. There, this is now nice and clean. Vertical line, select this one, copy, there. Yeah, quite dirty, but again, we just keep it this way. That's the whole charm of hand drawings. Natural imperfection. And you see how it's not really that time consuming. Here at the bottom, this line is a little bit too bad, so this actually was too much. So on this tiny line, I select and delete. Very good. There. And there. 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 Okay. So what do we actually sketch in the age of SketchUp and everything? Drawing is not necessarily just a visual tool to communicate an idea. Drawing is also sometimes simply a tool to explore ideas. Through the process of sketching, you might make more discoveries. You might actually not do when hand modeling in SketchUp or any CAD program. Because in AutoCAD, for example, we will be very focused on precision. This probably will speak against us. Oh, this curve is terrible. And in SketchUp, probably the same. I'm not saying you cannot explore ideas in SketchUp, but chances are very high that we might actually just get carried away by the details than thinking about process and ideas. And that's then where sketching can come in very handy, to use it simply as an ideation tool. Now, do I think it makes sense when we can render something in SketchUp very realistically, or any render program basically, to also spend 3 hours on hand rendering, like with pastel, etc.? No. I learned how to do all this stuff, and honestly, it's very beautiful, but it's very time consuming, aka expensive. You want to bill a client, and as long as a client doesn't value it, you're not being paid for it. So, sorry, that's then where economical reality comes in. So 3D modeling will be perfect for technical precision stuff. Hand sketching will be great for quick, dirty ideation stuff. Also, hand drawing is cool when you sit with a client and he can very quickly whip out a vision. Again, this is not about being clean. It's more about effective and fast. And, well, yeah, now drawing sometimes can be more interesting to do than 3D modeling. So let's say we really want to do a plan, like a cut section view. I would have to model everything before I can do the cut section, and via hand I can just draw that view. It's easier. Then I can copy and paste, move around, make variations so much faster than actually I could do this with SketchUp or any other program. So that's why I think it's still very good to learn all this stuff. So here I will try to do this in one move. So go down. Yeah, I'm just shaking way too much. This is too much for my taste, so I draw these arcs. There. Okay. There. Whoops. Three fingers to redo. I don't know what happened to the thing I just drew. It just disappeared. Okay, one more time. Changing the smoothing there, okay. And connect, zack, zack. Okay. Clients also are really more impressed when you can hand draw something or hand sketch. It's unfortunately a psychological bonus when being able to draw something compared to, oh, you just did this on a computer program that did it for you. Even while actually being good at CAD or SketchUp uh, takes time and practice too. No? It's not so easy to do. Okay, very good. I think this is actually a really nice sketch. Let's hide our images. And the one in the middle looks the most interesting. The vertical lines are kind of cool because of the speed, it changed the ink flow a little bit. So when you draw really slow or fast, you see how it's more natural. But it's kind of funny I say this. It barely's too much for me. So rip here, connect this. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, as you can hear, I have a cold and my throat really hurts. So basically what we did right now is also the reason why I don't really like working in Procreate, which is pixel based. In concepts, everything is vector based. I have ultimate control about changing everything later afterwards, which gives me this creative freedom of maximum flexibility. And I'm sometimes very particular about how I finish drawings and stylize them afterwards. Very good. So I would say this part is done, and then in the next video we can take a look at adding colors to it.